He wasn't real cordial.
You still hobbling around. Okay.
Okay, it's 7 o'clock, ready to start. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate those that are visiting and that are here for some business. Let's see, you've asked to give the prayer, Dave, and Lorianne the pledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one do
If we could all stand and give the pledge.
repeat the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father in heaven, we gather before thee as we begin our Morgan City Council meeting, thankful for this opportunity we have to gather. We're thankful for the beautiful community we live in, for the valley that we inherit. We ask thee now as we consider the affairs of the city that we may make decisions, proper decisions in the benefit of our residents and their families. We ask that the climate might be tempered as we engage in firefighting activities, etc. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Well, let's begin by saying our thoughts and prayers go out to those that have been affected by this fire. And hope and pray that we can get some wet falling from the sky. I will take a motion to approve the agenda for tonight.
I will make that motion, Mayor.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Okay, we have a motion from Tony, a second from Jeffrey. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Also, the minutes of the city council meeting held on July 28th, 2026, and the warrants from 7/23/26 through 8/8/26. Is there any discussion or anything we found in that?
I have one question.
Okay.
It looks like the minutes will be presented next meeting. And we'll take care of it. Just a question for Ty, KPS services on the checks, 27,000, says unit heater booster station. What was that for?
That's for our booster station that went out. It's the hut, so it's the heater inside the building
Oh, okay.
that went out. So just as a side note, we haven't used the booster station all year, even in the summer. Yeah, even with the drought, we've been fine even without the booster station, but finally got repaired and is back up and running.
Good. The unit, is it propane powered or electric? How do you?
I'm not sure.
How's
Yeah.
it heated? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It would be natural gas or electric, but it wouldn't be
Yeah,
propane.
yeah.
Where's the boosting station?
So,
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
You don't know how to explain it.
yeah, exactly. It's just on the north of 700 East.
Okay, yeah.
So,
for water.
for water, yeah.
Got it.
So kind of by Robinson Spring Tank. But yeah, anyway.
Mayor, I have a question for, I'm just curious, the RDO Equipment Company, the $2,700, it says the road shoulder machine, is that what was used over on the Mickelson Mile?
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
put that gravel along there?
Just
yeah,
Okay.
so we did our own work. The pavement we contracted out, then we got the gravel and just rented the
Machine?
machine to do our own shoulder work.
I kind of wondered how you did that, but there's a machine that you, okay. Thank you.
Okay, well, I will take a motion to,
Approve of the warrants?
yeah.
Mayor, I will make a motion that we approve of the warrants from July 23rd, 2026 through August the 8th, 2026.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion from Tony, and a second from Lorianne. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Janet, that's unanimous. And number 3 is a presentation. I think I know who that might be. If you'd like to,
No, there's nothing listed under presentation.
okay,
It was just. It was on there since Kel was coming.
From last
Yeah.
time.
okay, well. Yeah.
I like that though. That was good.
We were expecting a performance.
I don't see anybody with citizen comments online or here.
Today.
Scott, you're just here to observe? Okay, well, let's move on to item A in the active agenda. That's a resolution of the City Council of Morgan City approving a franchise agreement and power pole attachment agreement with Comcast for infrastructure expansion within the city. Resolution 26-37. You wanna
Yeah.
lead us out?
Sure. So this is the same franchise agreement that we have with Utopia, and we also signed one with All West, even though they never came to town. We had approved one with All West, and so it's prepared and reviewed by Gary, who is not here. His daughter's having some medical issues, and so he just transported her to Salt Lake. So we'll like to excuse him and
I even made me a note to excuse Gary, so thank you. I forgot.
yep. Anyway, we've been working with Comcast. They came and expressed an interest in coming to town. Kyle, and I forgot your last name, Beaterman, Beaterwolf, and Steve Hyatt. We've been working with them, and we did make 2 minor changes that they suggested to the franchise agreement, but nothing substantial. And so they're interested in coming to town, and
Back to town.
back to town. Yep. I gave them the history lesson, which I'll save from the public meeting. I won't go through the past history, but anyway, they've been really good to work with, and we're always welcome to have some competition and options. Yeah, more options are better, and just where to fit. So the franchise agreement allows them to operate within the city. They still have to do all the permitting that's required. So they design their installs and then they permit it. We review it. New subdivisions, same thing. There's space there's a communication trench that they would have to run their own conduit. All new subdivisions are in the ground. And then the pole attachment agreement is to go still reviewed by Clark, and there has to be sufficient clearance in order to attach. So they still have to ask permission, but this gives them that option. And kind of like what we did with Utopia is where power wise, where we're above ground, we use poles, and power when we're in the ground, then we go in the ground, but we won't be adding any new poles to the system.
May I ask a question? Okay, so in my backyard, I have a pole that I assume Comcast put there in the first place. I'm pretty sure of it. But now my Utopia is run from that pole. So both Comcast and Utopia could be run from that same pole, correct?
Yep. And you probably have CenturyLink on there still.
Or cords from CenturyLink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
wires.
Not the service, but yeah, hardly ever do we get them to take them back off
Still got
after they.
wires.
Okay, just took the old Comcast wire down about a year ago, so, but okay, so they both can exist on that pole.
Mhm. Yeah, and we do have some power poles too in the back, secondary, we call them secondary poles where we feed multiple houses. We try and stay away from that and keep everything out front, but there are some
Yeah, I'm
poles that we own in backyards. Yep,
pretty sure my pole was a Comcast pole
yep.
back in the day.
Yeah, if there's an easement, a utility easement, then that's where we allow people to operate in order to provide service.
I'd be interested in hearing what services you'd expect to bring to the city. Talk just briefly about that, and then I have a few questions following. Thank you.
Are you green?
Hit the button.
There we go. Now it's green. No, thank you all for the time. And I just want to first show my appreciation for Ty and Clark and the team that we've been working with. They've been a pleasure to work with thus far. Our plan here is it's a 100% private investment. So this is 100% dollars that Comcast is investing into Morgan City to be able to bring our services here. The plan is to build fiber to every single house and business that is currently in Morgan City. So that will provide symmetrical speeds of internet speeds, as well as cable services and business options for folks that are in Morgan as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Ty, and again, some of these questions may be borderline legal, but we'll see how well you do.
Well, and I haven't,
Yeah.
I've left all the details up to Gary, so.
So I'm all for competition for sure, and if that brings benefit to our residents, more power to it. But in this case, it seems like it's competition that's competing with us. In other words, we have a bond that we have to pay off. If all of our, and help me work through this, anybody, but if all of our residents went to the new program, how do we pay our bills?
So we backed the bond that Utopia has, and it did not make us a Utopia city. And at the time, if you remember that Utopia came, we also did a franchise agreement with All West. So we said, you're welcome. When we backed the bond with Utopia, we went and got a 3% interest rate, and our commitment to them came out to be 504 connections.
Right.
So if we drop below 504 connections, then out of our sales tax revenue, or 50% out of sales tax revenue, 50% out of the power department would have to make that portion of the bond payment. And we're at 86%. 86% of the city the take rate is 86% on the Utopia network. So we're like at 1,500 connections. And then the 504 is locked in, even though we have new subdivisions coming online. So the
504 is the minimum that we need to
on the Utopia network, if
make our
subscription,
payment.
yeah, if subscription drops below 504 connections, is the dollar amount that
We have
the
to
break
come
even
up
that
with the money to
that
pay
we
for it.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so we would only have to pay the difference. So if it drops to 400,
Right.
then we would have to pay the 104 times $30 a month
Mhm.
to make up that difference, just to make sure the bond payment is made.
Would that affect our personal rate of $30? If it dropped below that, would that rate go up?
No, it would be, the pricing's the same. Yeah,
Taxpayers pay for it.
yeah, the taxpayers would make up that difference.
I guess that gives me a little bit of heartache that we're competing against ourselves. I mean, typically the city isn't a competitor in that regard. You know, we're providing the right of way and access and so forth, but where we have a monetary interest in this one,
Yes,
could that mean, again, I don't know that our original goal was to have taxpayers pay for it.
Yeah, so franchise, um, the franchise agreement didn't preclude other people from providing service. At the time, we couldn't get anybody.
We
to
had
provide-
no,
Sure, I remember that.
no service.
That'll bring up another comment I've got here.
Yeah, yeah, and so, I think you have to have more than a, investment reason to preclude somebody else from coming and providing services. So we didn't, we did it for additional services. We didn't do it for, you know,
Competitive.
or we would have started like Morgan City Fiber Company and been the owners of it. And even then, they still, the municipal owned ones still allow other providers to come in.
What stops, so that kind of leads into the next question, and what stops 9 other fiber companies from coming in and asking for the same
Just
privilege? if you
just the amount of investment for our population. So that's why we couldn't get anybody interested. But at the time we had CenturyLink that would not do a new connection. We had Beehive that would not do a new connection because it wasn't worth the dollar amount per connection, where we're only 1,600 homes. And so I'm not sure why Comcast feels like this is a good investment. That's not my,
Sure, I mean, that's what the market dictates.
but that's why we haven't seen, we're such a small market. We're like a neighborhood in a different city. And so whatever it costs to invest in the infrastructure to provide the service is kind of, when you tap out, you tap out. So it's kind of the same reason we don't have a Costco.
Sure, but nonetheless, there's nothing that would stop us from saying to multiple other participants. In other words, the concern there is we're not picking and choosing the winners.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why we allow
Anybody.
anybody
Okay. so-
franchise agreements, but it's the market.
Right.
Market
yeah,
driven.
Understood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Understood that the market probably wouldn't support that.
Right. And, you know, and I don't know what the business models are and stuff like that, but I could imagine that Comcast has product that fills a gap that Utopia doesn't provide, maybe in the business community or whatnot. Like Utopia was very, very competitive on the homes. And if you remember, All West was only interested in the businesses. Yeah. And so I'm not sure how it'll play out, but by keeping it open and not restricted, just allows that to.
Yeah. Okay, so
So, you know, maybe, you know, maybe they take a pretty good chunk of the market share. There's still people that are loyal to Beehive or one of the providers, which would require them to stay on Utopia.
okay, question for gentlemen there. How long ago was it Comcast was in Morgan?
Yeah, we talked with Ty about this, but it was,
20 years, maybe?
How long, what was the question? How long they been
How
gone?
long ago was it?
Was Comcast in Morgan?
It's been, they pulled out quite a while ago.
Yeah, it's been several years, but
Yeah.
one of the things that we've had multiple conversations with Ty, and we're coming up with some creative ways with our construction and our build out too, to take advantage of some of the system that's already existing in there too. You know, where we can, to be able to use the lines or use the hubs that are already existing that we, left several years ago. But again, that was well before my time or Steve was involved with Comcast.
So here's a follow-up question to that. When Comcast left, of course, they left all of their material and infrastructure. Any chance of cleaning some of that up? In other words, in my parking strip, I mow around, I have for 20 years, a post, I'm not sure what it is, where the cap to it is long gone and there's wires and, you know, pieces of metal sticking out, but nothing has happened. So I'm pretty sure it was Comcast, you know, arrangement because nobody's worried about it. Any chance of cleaning some of that up?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think our goal here is to be the best partner to the city that we can be, which includes, you know, going through and providing the best service and the lowest disruption as we build our network now, but then as well going through and fixing or taking out whatever equipment that was left. You know, we understand, you know, the
Little bit of-
situation, yeah, the situation that we're in now, but it's one of the things that we want to work with Ty and the team on to make this as seamless as possible and you know, be as good of a partner in cleaning up the city as we can.
Okay, good answer.
Yeah, so just to piggyback on that, when they apply for a pole attachment, every pole attachment gets evaluated by Clark. And if he says there's not room because there's this old line on there, they have to figure out how to get rid of the old line in order to
Mhm.
install a new one. And we've kind of talked through one of the easy identifiable issues is if there's coax copper, that was definitely
Out.
Comcast at,
Mhm.
at some point, so.
Okay.
So-
Question, oh, go ahead.
So when Comcast left, it left quite a hole in the community because we really didn't have any choice at that point in time. Basically, it was just dial up is what we were left with. So I think it kind of left a little bit of a bad taste in everybody's mouth when they pulled out because it sort of left us all high and dry. But you know, but I'm going to ask a silly question, so I apologize. Okay. So Utopia runs the fiber to your house, and then we had a choice of about 9 different providers, Sumo, Beehive. There was quite a long list of them. Comcast, it's fiber, but it's just, okay, I guess, do we still have that choice of provider? Or is it just Comcast? I'm a little, yeah.
Yeah, through the construction project that we're working on and with the expansion, the residential product would be the Xfinity products, and then for the businesses, it would be Comcast Business. But on those specific lines that we're going to be building out, if approved, they would be specific to the Xfinity and Comcast
Okay.
Business products.
I assume that, so, all right.
Are you also expanding into the county or is it just city?
Yeah, we are in conversations with the county, and we're going to be going in front of county commission on September 15th to do the exact same pole attachment agreement, or no, just a franchise agreement, not a pole attachment with the county, but yes.
Couple more questions for Ty. Thank you. So there's some infrastructure that they're working on. They're going in, not unlike any other subdivision or developer agreement or arrangement. Do they need to provide bonding for any of that?
The subdivision provides the bonding, but typically the utilities don't. So similar to your gas line or your,
Mhm. We don't normally ask for
mm-mm,
an amount to guarantee that something's not left undone.
mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's,
I can appreciate that. I mean, it's not something that if we did leave in the middle of a project, it's not the end of the world as far as the city's concerned.
yeah, we just also do inspections to make sure that the communication lines are in the right trench with the right spacing between the other utilities. So they're not terribly intermixed. And then locating lines is a lot better than it was before.
Better methods to find.
Yeah, you put tracer wire and stuff so that you can come and locate a line, and we require conduit, so you can. And that was kind of the problem before, is like where the stuff is and exists isn't, you know.
Yeah, so that brings up the point though. I mean, we're talking about power poles overhead, but we've also got underground utilities, which would, the rights of way would be similar. And that said, we have a power pole agreement for everything above ground. Do we need a similar agreement for infrastructure below ground?
No, it's just the franchise agreement covers the installation and easement and the public utility easement. The pole attachment is because it's unique to the city where we have our own power utilities.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so.
Section 15 of the agreement talks about insurance. I'd like to ask a couple of questions regarding that. It mentions the city would be listed as a beneficiary or loss payee, if you will, if in the event of a loss. Who's going to monitor that on our part? I mean, who makes sure that that's always in place?
But the insurance is in place
Yeah.
or the?
Yeah, how do we, who on our group, our team monitors that?
I wouldn't know, so.
Well, you'll have to assign somebody or yourself so that, because the agreement says they will always keep it a liability policy in
Yeah.
effect.
Well, I know we've done insurance claims with other utilities,
But,
you know, back and forth, but
but they're providing a liability policy
So-
listing us as a beneficiary.
yeah, so that would probably just be with the recorder. So
With what?
their policy would just be
Okay,
with the
okay.
recorder.
And then that brought up what I thought was maybe a discrepancy. On the franchise agreement, it talks about a comprehensive general liability insurance with limits of umbrella excess liability coverage of not less than $2 million for bodily injury and $3 million for property damages. We go to the pole line agreement, and it references on their liability and indemnification, which is section 4C. Company shall maintain that throughout the terms of agreement liability insurance with regards to all damages in the amount of 1 million for property damages, bodily injury. One's 1 million, the other is 2 and 3. Does that need to be looked at?
Yeah, it would just be the 1 million minimum. I mean, if,
Why wouldn't we ask? I mean, the
no, we could
franchise
ask for
agreement.
more, but I'm just saying like if whatever we've listed, the requirement, the low one, I think would.
Why wouldn't we ask for the higher one? I mean, we've said in the franchise agreement that it would be 2 million and 3 million.
Yeah, we could amend the
Whole agreement.
whole agreement to ask for
I think
that.
we'd want them the same regardless, but
Yeah.
if we're on their part, you're able and willing to do the higher amount, I think we'd be willing to accept the higher amount, if you will.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's see, I think that might be. I think you've answered this, though. The pole line agreement references certain various national and industry standard or industry standards, and Clark is the one that would watch for that.
Mhm.
Okay. And Clark, ultimately, I noticed he had to sign off on the agreement, so he will be aware of it. And has he had any concerns or questions yet?
Yeah, we definitely have concerns about the space on
Okay.
the poles and how many have been lashed together, and it's kind of pole by pole, you know, I mean, sections of town or where most of it's been consumed, but that's why they have to permit for each one, and Clark reviews it. And then there is an option to go horizontal instead of vertical, and he'd have to evaluate each pole, you know what I mean, and say, yeah, you can attach or not attach. And then if there's just not space or whatnot, then we can say you got to go underground right here.
The agreement talks about restoration on public property. My guess is somewhere along the way, you may have to deal with private property. You deal with that landowner separate, with a separate agreement, I suppose.
Yeah, well, per the franchise agreement, if there's any restoration that needs to be done due to either Comcast or one of our business partners doing the work, we work directly with that individual resident to restore the yard to however it was before. And we work together with our business partners to make sure that they have notes and account for every single area before they build, so we know exactly what it would need to be restored to if it came to that.
Yeah, okay. Are you, one last question, are you working with any municipalities, communities right now that could be a reference for us that we could call and say, how's your experience been with Comcast?
Yeah, currently we're expanding into Francis and Camas. Yeah, those two. We're going to be expanding into Morgan County here shortly, but I could get you a comprehensive list. You know, we've been expanding our network across Utah for the last several years.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'd be helpful. Just a little bit of follow-up.
Absolutely.
That's all I had. Thank you, gentlemen.
Any more comments?
Yes.
Tony?
Section 16, and goes to Dave's point a little bit. Upon the expiration or termination of the rights granted under this franchise, the franchisee shall either at the franchisee's sole option remove all of its communication facilities from the public ways of the city within 90 days or abandon the facilities in place. On permanent abandonment, the franchise agreements to transfer ownership of the communication facilities of the city, the franchisee shall submit to the city a proposal and instruments for transferring ownership to the city. What if we just flat want Comcast to remove something?
I think they have a right to be there unless they abandon and leave, and that's always been the challenge is saying at what point have they abandoned? Because you go for a long stretch and you have 5 customers left and you're like, hey, you're done here, but they're like, well, that line is still active and serving somebody unless someone just totally goes out of business, which you wouldn't expect with Comcast. So there's a lot to the agreement that how it actually plays out in the real life is pretty complicated and the only consolation that I have is all the new installs are now marked. All the old ones claiming ownership has been more of a challenge.
I don't think this is going to happen, or it's probably a moot point, but clearly when they, and no reflection on you gentlemen, clearly when they left town 20 years ago, they just up and took a powder, you know, and there's, Dave's is not the only situation where things were left. And so as I read this, it looks like it's entirely Comcast's call as to whether or not they want to abandon it or sell it to the city, and the city doesn't have much recourse, so.
And
Another vendor.
yeah, I don't have any documentation, but the history that I heard too was Beehive came and bought out the infrastructure. So when Beehive came to town, they bought the old infrastructure from Comcast, and so it wasn't like a abandonment. Beehive thought they were gonna do something other than Beehive Wireless, and it was a failed experiment because they found out how much it took to maintain old infrastructure. So,
Well, I mean, I don't perceive that being an issue ever, but I was just curious about the language, how the language read.
yeah, yeah. We also have the same franchise agreement with Lumen, which is CenturyLink. We did that a couple of years ago because we didn't have a franchise agreement in place.
Is that our form?
Mhm.
So it's identical to the one everything that happened.
Yeah.
And you review it and say, yes, it works.
Yep.
Well, okay.
We good with discussion?
I am, thank you.
Mayor, I'm prepared to make a motion
Right.
to approve Resolution 26-37. It's a resolution of the City Council of Morgan City, Utah, approving a franchise agreement and power pole attachment agreement with Comcast for infrastructure expansion within the city. Again, Resolution 26-37.
Hey, Tony, we have a motion from Tony. Do we have a second?
I'll second that, Mayor.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for resolution 26-37. All in favor?
Aye.
You opposed? Hey, Janet, that's unanimous.
Welcome to Morgan.
You.
Yeah, you get a cookie.
Take a pink cookie.
Yeah, get a cookie.
Okay, let's move on to ordinance 26-13.
Good night. Thank you.
Steve.
Thanks.
I didn't know who he did. I didn't know he was with Comcast.
An ordinance amending Title I, Chapter 1 -15 of the Morgan City Code by amending fees of the consolidated fee schedule for rental of Front Street Plaza, alleyway, and the stage, providing for repealer, providing for severability, and establishing an effective date of August 11th, 2026. Ordinance 26-13. And then if I remember right, we got an updated cost of that. Mine's yellowed. Everybody's yellowed.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any discussion on this?
I just had one thought. And I'm not really not to muddy the water here at all, but I got thinking, we need to approach this a little bit like we do our fees on our cemetery. I mean, should there be a little more of a fee for those who don't live in the city or the county, they're from outside the city or the county, or is there on this?
Well, yeah, he's saying for the, works for the.
Oh, for the plaza.
Doing it here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The cemetery we do. I'm just saying, I mean, do we give a little bit of a break to our citizens in the city and the community? Or I just a thought I had. If somebody comes in from outside our community, do we, I don't know.
Charge them a little more.
Yeah. I just,
I mean, you'd probably have to do that with everything though, parks and so forth.
oh, maybe.
You know, you rent a Bowery and
Yeah.
would there be a benefit to a resident?
I'm just not saying we should. I'm just saying, I've thought about it. Makes sense.
Well, if somebody outside of the city rents the Bowery, it's that $40 first 4 hours. That doesn't have anybody if they're,
Yeah, I'm just saying that people here in the city pay taxes in the city or, in
Yeah.
the county. and-
well, I'm not disagreeing. How would you work that?
Do a lot of people rent the park for private profit events?
Yeah, so if I can, the whole,
To hear what Ty's.
yeah, so the whole thing is based off of the idea of renting a Bowery. So you can go to the plaza anytime you want, but if you want to make sure that like my family gets to use the plaza, then you reserve it online, just like you do a Bowery at the park. If you want to have a large event or then you follow an event permit. Kind of, I think that's more in line with what the thought process is. And then the stage, we want the plaza to be used.
Right.
It generates activity. It hopefully generates sales tax for people frequenting the businesses. And so basically the thought is the minimum take up, or there's not a lot of setup. There's just garbages. Like a Bowery, we usually go clean and get it ready for use. The plaza should be pretty much ready to go. It's just the extra garbages and stuff that we need to take care of. And then the stage is something we don't want to be used every single time somebody wants to go you know,
Use a stage.
use a stage to put your band on with 5 people there to watch you
Yeah,
play around on a
needs-
stage. And
needs to
so,
Be a barrier, doesn't it?
yeah, and the stage is a big investment to it. Costs us over $40,000 for the stage, and it takes 3 people to set it up and take it down. And so it's the 600 for the stage is just based on setup and takedown. And
Good.
so if you have a 2-day event, you got to pay $1,200 because we don't leave it set up at night. But that's again following an event permit when somebody's saying, hey, you got to have traffic control, you got to have all these things figured out, multi-day event, to make it worth, you know, the stage. And so we want it to be reserved. Bands can still set up and play just on the concrete without the
Stage.
stage, yeah, without the stage or the fee, just if they reserve it. Cause you show up and you
Yeah,
say, hey,
there's
we've
3
got it,
bands.
we've got it reserved right now, so. So, you know, we probably just see how it plays out and see if we run into anticipated, I can't even talk tonight.
Well, I mean.
Must be low on caffeine.
You've already listed, there's no fees charged to civic and church organizations within Morgan County. So I guess I was just more thinking, not so much even the event as I just was the plaza, you know, where,
Mhm.
you know, you have a family wants to have a get together at the plaza
And,
and, you know, I just thought, you know.
and we, yeah, and we don't do that on the parks either,
No, I know we don't.
but, it's nice to see them get used. And
I mean, of course, the reason we did it with the cemeteries is everybody was coming to Morgan to
dying to get in.
bury somebody because it was so cheap, so.
Yeah.
Hi, speaking of events, some events are clearly okay, some may be objectionable, and some may be borderline. That, if there was something that the city questioned or didn't want to allow to happen, that would be handled through the permit process, not the renting. Anybody can rent
Yeah,
the stage.
through the permit process, but, we would have to have, we'd have to have a pretty strong reason to deny event if it was met the condition. So that's, they still have to have traffic control figured out. All of those things we would deny a event, but if it was, it would still have to meet community standards,
Right.
but, but if there was a question, I think that would have to come to council. I don't think the staff could
Yeah.
make that.
We don't have to go any farther than just a few months ago, St. George lost a lawsuit from the ACLU that cost them $350,000 in attorney fees as well as an apology.
Yeah, and the city manager lost his job.
They what?
The city manager lost his job because he permitted it.
Yeah, there you go. And yet it was, their turning it down was unconstitutional.
That was the conditions, is because everything that was permitted, there was no,
And you break down the event and everything. that
it was based on who was trying to reserve it, not what the activity was, right? So there was no lewd behavior,
The
there was
individual
no.
components were all constitutional.
Yep. Mhm.
So there was no reason that they could turn it down, hence.
Based on who it was. And so that's what I'm saying is there would have to be
Right, some real strong,
something to deny a permit.
almost a constitutional
Yep.
event that would say we can't do this.
Yeah. But just based on who it is, we wouldn't deny a permit.
Just looking another, quite, you know, the stage rental fee just for the Front Street Plaza. Would we rent this stage out to go put on Riverside Park?
Yep. Yeah. So it's
For
its
the
own,
same-
it's its own category. So you rent the stage, it could also go.
They could pull it over to Riverside, the city would pull it over there for them and.
Yep. And that's the amended fee schedule. That's why it was listed a little differently in the amended fee schedule, because we had it under the plaza instead of its own category. So the one in the packet, one in the original packet has it under the plaza, and the amended one that was just sent out has it separated out. But it would have to be on city property. You couldn't reserve it and take it to the
To my
fairgrounds.
backyard.
Or the fairgrounds, yeah.
Is that what you had in mind?
Yeah.
Your backyard, yeah.
Insurance would probably
Internet
dictate.
square well.
Yeah.
Jeff's backyard would work.
Close to the
Yeah,
park.
yeah.
Yeah, close.
Put it on that end of the park.
Yeah. We could annex your house into the park.
That's not a bad idea.
Put it down there at the park.
So I'm not clear on, what happened in St. George.
So there was a parade that they wanted to permit, and it was like a rainbow parade.
Gay
It was a
pride.
drag show.
Gay pride.
Well, it wasn't,
I guess the lawsuit.
yeah. So they had I can't remember all of the acronyms for transgender and all that, but they were doing a parade and did an event permit. The council wanted the city to deny it, and the staff approved it because they didn't have any basis to deny
Diet.
the permit, because it specifically said no nudity, no lewd behavior, no, and they were not doing any of that. They were just strictly having a pride parade. If,
Well, the one that brought the lawsuit, the council turned down. It was
yeah, the council turned it down, but
4 votes to 1.
yeah. And so they denied the,
Permit.
yeah, it went up to the city manager, approved it, wanted to approve it, and the council said, we don't want it. And it was solely based on who was applying, and the staff, the city manager and the staff were saying we can't deny it based on their constitutional right to, they fulfilled all of the permit requirements, paid their fees, and
Complied with everything.
yeah, and so,
And everything they were doing was protected.
yeah, so they fired the city manager, denied the council,
Denied the permit.
denied the permit,
The
and fired
activity.
the city manager and said, we don't want that here, and
Lost the lawsuit.
lost the lawsuit.
That just,
They did.
I mean, the way the world is,
I mean, well, I just recently settled within the last year or decided, if you will, but
I mean, probable that it won't happen, but
it's-
you never know.
yeah, things can
in
happen.
today's world.
Yep.
So how do we prevent that? What do we have to do to,
So,
like, if we don't want a drag queen show on the stage in the plaza, how do we go about
Yeah, you don't.
without
Well,
infringing on people's rights?
and that's the point. Some people do want it. And as long as the events that they're doing, if you break down, what are you going to be doing? And every one of those events that they're doing are protected. You turn it down, you're probably paying the 350,000 in the legal fees, even though you don't want it, somebody else does want it. And, you know, you say drag, but that could be anything. That could, I mean, there may be things that you like or, you know, music that you like to listen to and music that Jeff doesn't like to listen to or whatever. There's always going to be two, you know, opposing sides. It's just that the bottom line is it protected by the Constitution? And if it is, you allow it,
Is it a?
whether you like it or not.
Is it a protected class? Because if it is, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, if it's protected,
We had that here.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, with our,
Remind me after and I'll tell you the story.
right. Yeah, story for another day, but
Yeah.
If it's protected, you,
It's a protected class.
yeah, you, even though you don't like it and you don't want it, you wouldn't go to the performance. It doesn't mean that somebody else wouldn't, and they have that right to do it.
yeah, so you just plan on low attendance.
Well, if people don't want to go, don't go.
Yeah, just there
I
you
mean,
go.
I'm just saying
Don't go to the parade.
in Morgan, that's one of the,
Right.
that's one of the things is we have low population for one.
So it's different than if I'm in my vehicle with my grandkids, that I control the station that's on.
Yeah, they do. They're not gonna listen to your stuff.
They do, they're forced to. But, okay. It's a changing world.
Yep. You know, and who knows what the event might be that bothers Morgan. Maybe something you don't even think about, but nonetheless, the potential's always there. St. George wasn't expecting any trouble. And bingo, they were in the middle of it.
Okay, but we have certain criteria that we wouldn't allow, correct?
Well, I mean, the Constitution allows us to say if it's obscene or lewd or whatever. I mean, those are examples of ones that we don't have to allow. Whatever the law is what we don't allow or do allow.
Based on the activity, not based on the people,
Applicant.
not based on the applicant.
So for instance, we wouldn't allow nudity.
Right.
Correct.
And how do we get to the point where we say that without it going to a lawsuit?
You deny their permit, and if they feel they need to bring a lawsuit, then we say to our legal, are we on good footings? Yes, you are. Here's the reason, da, da, da. And we have a judge decide, and that should go in our favor.
Should. But
You never know, but unless something was marginal, again, I think there's clearly, there's clearly black and white. There's good things and there's bad things, and good things we permit, the bad things we don't. But what's there in the middle that could be controversial that we don't even talk about right now because we don't know what it is. So the potential's there that something could come up down the road.
yeah, and we went through the ordinances with the planning commission and went through and detailed different things, and one of them was that we wouldn't allow that.
And Kerry was right there and he said, that's permissible. Yeah, that's doable. So we can,
But it pretty much needs to be stated.
Yes,
I mean,
that's what
I
thank you.
yeah, you hope you cover all
Yeah.
all your
I
bases.
heard
for
a
sure.
story the other day, Centerville City, Clark Wilkinson's the mayor down there. They had a business on Main Street that closed down, and somebody came along and wanted to put a vape shop there. And it got into be a big brouhaha because it was zoned as commercial, but it was not specified what could go there. So that's kind of, I think, why you want to be very specific as to what you want to allow in certain zones. And
Yeah, I think it seemed like Jake was pretty careful in his proposal on with that event in
Yeah.
particular for us.
yeah, because the people obviously didn't want a vape store on Commercial Street, but I don't know how that turned out. I don't know. But I know it was kind of a big issue down there.
Okay, is there any more discussion other than sort of wishing we were back about 30 years, 40?
Yeah.
Don't go too far. I wouldn't be born yet.
Yeah.
You're the only one sitting up there, wouldn't?
Be careful.
Okay, well, is there any more discussion or feelings on this ordinance 26-13?
Steve, I'd move to approve ordinance 26-13, amending Title I, Chapter 1.15 of the Morgan City Code by amending fees of the consolidated fee schedule for rental of Front Street Plaza, alleyway, and stage, providing for repealer, providing for severability, and establishing effective date of August 11th, which should be today, 2026.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Okay, we have a motion to approve ordinance 26-13 in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Janet, that's unanimous. Let's move into, does the city council have anything to report on or?
Just have one item, just to maybe to address to Ty, and maybe you're gonna address anyway, but you send us a well-being survey. How will that be used? Is there anything more we're going to do with that? It looked to me like the survey was mostly at this point, that what the author said were just raw comments that maybe wouldn't be part of the final report, but most of the comments, I think there was 85 out of 91, seemed to fit a certain format, if you will. There was half a dozen different ideas, the things they liked, community liked and didn't like. How will we use that survey?
So we don't have any plans to use it other than I just thought it would be good to provide it to the council.
Yeah.
So, so just perspective on,
Okay.
As decisions come up and
Mhm.
moving forward. I think you guys have all at some point kind of said, I wonder what the people
Sure.
think that we represent, and this is just one key area, and we participated in providing information to the project, and they gave us information back, and so
It seems like we've been to the Utah League meetings and there was a purpose for all of these surveys. I mean, there was 50 some communities that have participated in it. What was the original idea?
so the one with the league is actually a recognition
Not
that,
this one.
not this one.
Okay.
Yeah, so you apply and you get recognized. They make a little bit video for you
Mhm.
and set it up. We have not participated in that one, but we are doing the wellness one. If you remember how we just did the wellness award from PEHP, having the 5 different categories that you participate in, and I think our next one is social well-being that we're doing this year. So
Are we looking for a final report on this, on the Morgan Wellbeing, or?
Is that the healthy city one?
no, oh, from them.
Yeah, from them. I mean, all I saw were just 85 different responses.
Yeah.
I think they said
The final
they
report,
made a
yeah.
reference that there would be a report that would not include, only with a few exceptions, the raw responses he referred to them as.
Yeah. I'll have to look and see if I got one of those.
So Ty, are you talking about we're doing the one where you go to the league and they have a little video and you become a healthy city, or?
Yeah, we haven't signed up for that.
Okay, all right. That's called like the healthy city or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sponsored by a different group. So there's multiple groups doing different things, and we haven't signed up for that one. So
I just want to see you on the big screen there, Ty.
yeah. So
And the mayor. You need to have your face up there.
yeah, so I'm just sending you the link that I think might be the report that you're referring to.
Okay, here, let's see my name in the page.
I think I might have missed it in my email, so.
No. Okay, you've got is that the link that the author provided?
I haven't opened it, but I think that might be what you're.
Yeah, I just opened the one that you had sent.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, council, do we have anything else?
What I can think of.
Okay, Ty, you wanna spend a minute on your updates?
Just that we're doing interviews tomorrow for Teresa's replacement. We put the job out. We have, we got some pretty good applicants. So we'll interview those tomorrow and make a decision this week, because we're running out of time to get some cross training.
And Teresa's retirement luncheon is August 27th at noon here in the council room.
Yep, and then you all saw the invite for the summer party as well.
Thank you. We got it this time.
Good.
If I RSVP'd you.
Okay, well,
That looks like the short time.
Uh,
It is Monday. It would be,
It's the 31st, isn't it?
yeah, it's the 31st.
I'd like to point out, Ty, that you changed the code to the building and I sat out there for 5 minutes this morning trying to get in with the old code, so.
Steve, I think I'm Steve.
Sure.
Are you going to
When we are-
RSVP summer party, I'll just,
oh, me? I thought I already did.
oh, I don't know, if anyone hasn't, I can.
All
And I
right.
RSVP for me and Brian.
Yeah, and I'm coming Janet too.
There's some of us on the ball, some of us.
Yeah, some of you on top of things, others just kind of drifting along.
Okay, I guess what happens when you get old is you don't remember if you replied or not.
Well, I remembered, I just didn't reply.
No, you're younger than me, huh? Okay, well, this meeting's adjourned.
So,
Well, the 17th, the RS.
so do you want to hear my story on a protected class?
Yeah.